In this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know about the second stimulus check. I'm going to answer 3 of the most common questions about this second stimulus check. First, we'll talk about whether or not there is even going to be another stimulus check. Second, we'll talk about if there is another stimulus check, who is most likely going to receive it and how much is it going to be for. And then finally, we'll talk about when should you expect to receive that second stimulus check. So stay tuned. Before we get started, let me give a quick disclaimer. This video is not legal advice. It is for educational purposes only. If you have a question about your specific situation, talk to a lawyer. So with that out of the way, let's get into our first question. Will there be a second stimulus check? Now, on May 15th, the House of Representatives passed a massive $3 trillion stimulus package called the HEREOS Act. That's short for the Health and Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solutions Act. This is a 1,815-page coronavirus relief bill. And in case you were wondering, this is what 1,815 pages looks like. So what needs to happen for the HEREOS Act or another stimulus package like it to become a law? Well, 2 things need to happen for this stimulus package to become a law. First, the Senate needs to pass it by a majority vote. And second, President Trump needs to sign it into law. So you might be asking, where did the senators stand on this new stimulus package? Both sides, Republicans and Democrats, have a wish list of things that they want to include in this stimulus package. For example, the Republicans want to include in the stimulus package a law that would shield businesses from coronavirus-related legal claims. The Republicans also want no extension of the federal unemployment benefits expiration date. They're set to expire on July 31st, and the Republicans want to allow them to expire instead of extending that date. Now, what do the Democrats want? Well, the Democrats want the stimulus package to include large-scale federal aid to state and local governments, and the Democrats want to extend the July 31st expiration date for the unemployment benefits beyond July 31st. The good news is they both have expressed general agreement with a second round of stimulus checks. So if the 2 parties are able to compromise on their respective wish lists in this stimulus package, it will likely include a second round of stimulus checks. Even President Trump has recognized that Americans may need another round of stimulus checks to them soon. So moving on to question number 2, who would be eligible to receive the second round of stimulus checks and how much would they be for? Well, the amount of the stimulus checks would be the same as the first round of stimulus checks under the HEREOS Act. Under the HEREOS Act, anybody who is an individual tax filer making $75,000 or less per year would get a check for the full $1,200. A household tax filer making $150,000 or less would get a stimulus check of $2,400. Now you can see here on the chart that as a tax filer's income increases, the amount of their stimulus decreases all the way down to 0 if you made $100,000 as an individual, or as a household you made $200,000 or more. Now the first round of stimulus checks did not go to dependents. They only went to the individual or the household. Under the HEREOS Act, though, dependents up to 3 per household would get stimulus money in the amount of $1,200. For example, a single household could end up getting up to $6,000 of stimulus money. If you've got 2 parents who make under $150,000 within their household, who have 3 dependents, as you can see here, I've done the math, that totals up to a total of $6,000 per single household of stimulus money. So that brings us to our third and final question here. When will the Senate vote on the new stimulus bill? So the Senate has not announced a date on which it's going to vote on a new stimulus package or send checks out, but a lot of people are saying it may happen in June. One of the major factors that's going to affect whether or not the Senate does vote for the stimulus package in June will be the unemployment numbers. Specifically, the new weekly unemployment claims filed. These numbers come out once every week, and one of 2 scenarios is going to happen. If we see a major drop in the number of weekly unemployment claims filed next week and the week after and the week after that, the Republican senators who are wanting to wait and see before voting on a stimulus bill are going to take that as a sign that our economy is recovering just fine on its own and that another stimulus bill is not needed, that Americans are back in their jobs, they're back at work, they're making money. If, on the other hand, under scenario number 2, there is no major improvement in the number of jobless claims filed over the next few weeks, then they are likely to go ahead and pass a stimulus package that includes stimulus checks. So you'll want to keep an eye on the number of new weekly unemployment claims filed over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that concludes my video on the second round of stimulus checks. If you like this video or you want to make sure to catch my new updates on the stimulus check or unemployment benefits, go ahead and click the subscribe button below this video right now. And now it's your turn to share. Do you think we need a second round of stimulus checks? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.